Yes, Veterans Day. Hello, everybody. It's the 9th of November, 2024, Monday. What's going on? Hey, listen, I had a visit from a friend I haven't really spoken to very much for almost 15 years. He decided I wasn't worth his time, and I just let him have that opinion, and we just didn't really talk very much. He's a good guy. I think he's a little too pessimistic by nature, so it's kind of a drag to listen to him go off. I discovered, though, thank you, John, because he reminded me my amateur radio license has expired and I need to renew it or lose it. So that's on my agenda for today. Yes, for all of you who are amateur radio fans, my call sign is, well, hope it still is once I renew, is November 0 Yankee Papa Sierra N0YPS, which I say the YPS stands for youthful, powerful, sexy, but I might be self deluded, and in fact I am. Let's sniff some snuff while I give a shout out to a couple of folks that I had no idea were fans of this channel, followers. They'd never comment. But first of all, to my man, Brian K. I don't remember your call sign. I am sorry. He's a fellow ham guy, as is his father. I was so glad to hear, Brian, that your dad is still doing very well. I'm glad to hear Don is doing well at 85. That's fantastic. Please greet him for me. Yeah, Brian's a smart guy. You know, I don't know why he listens to this channel because I thought he would be far smarter than that. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't use nasal snuff. But Brian K., thank you so much. Cheers. What the hell am I sniffing? I don't know, but it's tasty. I've said that about vaginas as well. No, 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 Paul, stop, 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 stop. Doesn't smell very good, but I'll eat it all damn day. Mmm. Yes, I've learned to breathe through my ears. It's a talent, it's a skill, it's an ability I encourage everyone to learn. Useful in many situations. Learn to breathe through your ears, you'll be a very happy man. And your woman will thank you, or your boyfriend, or your favorite sheep. Yes, I know about the sheep, Bob. You're not hiding from anybody. I know. I know. Every time you walk past a flock of sheep, you hear, Daddy, come back. I know, Bob. A sheep can be such comfort when you don't have a woman, a pocket pal, or an inflatable. You know? And the sheep kind of like it, actually, I've heard. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, there's not a lot of news from the dank basement. Thanks to everybody who put up with that incredibly long, 43 minutes, actually. Pinch with your squinty up. I uploaded on Friday. If you haven't checked it out, you may not have been notified because it is restricted to adult video, which I don't usually do. I did for this one. Listen, if you are not getting notified, and I've had a lot of people write or tell me in person, just not getting notified, be sure you are still subscribed, that YouTube hasn't automatically unsubscribed you. That's the first step. They do that with people they don't like, or people who cover subjects, topics they don't like. They will shadow ban you, or they will kill off your subscriber list. They do a lot of nasty stuff here on the YouTube. And it's just part of the game you have to play if you want to be a content creator here. You know, if I was talking about transsexual fashion tips, I would have no problem. But I talk about tobacco, and they have a problem. So first of all, make sure you're subscribed. Secondly, go back and check that notification bell icon, click on it, and you will be more likely to be advised when I upload new content. Very important. It's great that I have 3.25K subscribers. I'd like to get it to 4,000 by the end of the year. It's kind of a fart's chance in a wind tunnel, but I would like to increase it to 4K. It would be great. I will have to do something to show my appreciation, maybe a dare or a challenge of some kind. Just don't try to challenge me to stand on my head. I can't do it. This is a great story, speaking of standing on one's head. So I'm 15 years old. It's New Orleans, 1972 or 73, I guess 73. And New Orleans was a party city back then, very much a party city. Crime was being managed. There were gangs of animals roaming the streets trying to kill tourists. It was a much more chill place to be than it is now. And they also didn't really care about the drinking age. So I'm sitting in a bar on Bourbon Street. I walk up to the bar like I own the place, sit on the stool. Bartender comes by, says, "What'll it be?" I said, "Gin Blossom," and then looked away. He brought me my gin and juice, and I was sipping on it. And there's a police officer standing about 5 feet from me because it's open. That side of the bar is completely open to Bourbon Street. And I'm watching all the passers-by, and there's a guy in the street, buck naked, standing on his head, playing harmonica for tips. And I started laughing, and the cop said, "What's so funny?" And I said, "You don't arrest guys for being naked in the street, huh?" Pointing at the guy who was standing on his head. And he said, "Listen, buddy, if you can stand on your head and play the harmonica, you wear any damn thing you want." I thought that was a good philosophy. So that's my story about head standing. A buck naked guy standing on his head in the middle of Bourbon Street playing a harmonica. He was pretty good too. Man know how to blow, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he was playing that harmonica and still standing on his head, and everything's flopping in the breeze. Pretty impressive. Ah, those were the days. Yeah, that was a weird. I drank everywhere, and I'm only 15 at this point, and I do not look like an adult, and my voice is way up here, and I haven't even really gone through puberty yet. And bars, liquor stores, no problem. I think now they would have a problem, which I guess is better, but it was pretty Wild West back then. I love the Big Easy. Have you ever been to New Orleans? If you're listening to me from outside the United States, I hope you do make New Orleans one of your stops when you come and visit my country. It's a party city to this day. Bourbon Street, the French Quarter, the St. Louis, I think it's called Cathedral. Get your cafe au lait that's made with chicory as well as coffee, and then very sweet with milk and sugar. And you can have a beignet, one of the typically French pastries they sell down there. There's a Café du Monde right in the French Quarter. Fabulous beignets and so on. It's a great city. The city is very sexy too. The city kind of lives and breathes sex. Must have something to do with the humidity. I don't know. It's a very moist city. Hey, have you noticed this? I just started getting this reaction whenever I say the word moist. A bunch of people just cringe. It's like, don't say moist. How am I supposed to describe this delicious cake? Refer to it as damp? That doesn't sound appetizing at all. Here, have some nice cake. It's very damp. No, moist is a perfectly good word. Why is it eliciting the negative gut reactions? I had a lady that helped me clean my house for a while. I love her dearly. She's so sweet. She's got a very severely disabled daughter, and she is so brave in what she does with her daughter, takes care of her daughter. And her son is also equally brave because he's just a kid. And the daughter is a gem, but very, very, very disabled. And whenever I would say moist, she would literally shriek. Don't say moist! Ah! What's the deal with moist? Here we go. Cheers. Weird thing to be sniffing, but I found it. This is the McChrystals I held up in my last video. Said, what is this? This is McChrystal's Violet, which is interesting because I also encountered my Toque Violet in the same rummage. And that's right in my hand here. And I can actually compare the two. So let's do that. The McChrystals is not. Whoa! Opened it upside down, and I'm going to get snuff all over me. The McChrystals is a lighter violet scent. I almost said violent scent. It is a much lighter, slightly more natural, whereas the Toque, I think, smells more like Parma violets. If you've ever had those wonderful little candies, you don't see them in the U.S. unless you import them. You can get them on Amazon. Parma violets, violet flavored candy. The Toque has more of that character. The McChrystals is a little bit less scented and a little more violet, natural violet. But let's try this. Here's the Toque, first of all. We'll do it in the right nostril. Yeah, it's Parma violets. It smells just like that violet flavored candy. And I love that, by the way. It's unique in the United States. I also recently had rose candy for the first time, made out of rose petals. Pretty impressive. Okay, now I'm going to stick the McChrystals up my right nostrils and see if there's a thermonuclear reaction of some kind in my nose. Here we go. Ooh, I will tell you, the McChrystals burns a lot more. Whoa, mother! Oh, oh. And this is not exaggerated reaction for theatrical effect. I mean, this is hurting. Oh my God! I took way too much. Oh, I'm crying. Little tears. It's funny, the side with the McChrystals is getting really juicy, real snotty. And the side I put, the left side, where I put the Toque violet, is not at all juicy and not at all clogging. The McChrystal side is clogging a little bit. Interesting experiment. I will never do it again. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh, I thought I was going to sneeze. Oh. That's disgusting. I blew part of my brain out with that one. All right. So that's all I got for this Monday. Again, Brian K. and Don K. I'm so glad to hear you guys are doing well. I was very sorry to hear that our friend Matt Hines died. I had not heard about it till I talked with John yesterday. John lost his bid for city council. I voted for him, but he lost. John's a good guy, but like I said, he's very, very smart. He's a super smart guy, very tech savvy, very politically savvy, and very, very pessimistic. But I suppose if I had me for a friend, I'd be pessimistic too. From the dank basement, I am your Squick and Funkle Donkey, and I appreciate the views, the likes, the subscriptions, hitting that notification bell ding dong. You hit that sucker so you get advised of new content. The following video, or the preceding video rather, is not intended for viewing by persons under the age of 21 or the legal age for consuming tobacco and cannabis in your area of residency. These videos are not intended in any way to promote the use of tobacco or cannabis, and I do not present products as a sales pitch. I review currently marketed and existing products. If you currently do not use tobacco or cannabis, you don't need any more bad habits. Please don't use. If you are under 25, don't use cannabis. Your brain has not stopped growing until you're about 25. So there'll be time to get high, trust me. If you happen to be a kid watching this and you're smoking a joint, got a blunt rolled up, you're 14, you're basically making yourself developmentally disabled. I would say mentally retarded, but that would be prohibited on YouTube, so I'm not going to call you a retard. But the chances are you are actually hurting your brain at this point. Lay off of it, at least until you turn 25, and then you can pick up a bad habit if you want to. And that is my advice as someone who has smoked weed pretty much daily since 1974. So we're talking 50 years of weed smoking. And I wish I had waited. I wish I had not smoked when I was 17. I wish that I had waited to smoke until I was in my mid-20s. First of all, the weed would have been a lot better if I had waited 7 years. Or 8 years. But Yeah, you don't. If you are a kid who, and I use the term with respect. If you're a kid who is watching this, please don't smoke weed till you turn 25. I know it's a really weird thing to say, and yes, I am a weed smoker, but just give your brain a chance. Okay, that's my advice. And I know you didn't come here for advice, but that's my advice. From the Dank Basement, I am Paul, sometimes called Uncle Squinty. I appreciate the views. Again, thank you for hitting that like button and subscribing and all that. And we will see you soon with more nasal snuff madness. Take care.